everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here with our last episode of Obsessed with Caddy and Christy using the Paige Evans Fancy Free. I just quickly showed you the 3 pieces of pattern paper that I was using. We did have the option to use a fourth, but I was able to just use those ones, and instead of using a fourth piece of pattern paper, I went into my tissue collection and grabbed this blue tissue instead. We are scrap lifting the fabulous Missy Whidden, and her layout is just beautiful. It's got the silhouette cut word, big long title. I did attempt it at first. I cut the whole thing out because I started to work with it and I don't have a silhouette or any type of cutting machine to make my letters, so I have to hand write them out or computer write them and then cut them, and it's a really long process, probably longer than even doing it with the silhouette. So instead I decided to use thickers. So you're going to see a little bit of a difference in my layout compared to that. But other than that, I kind of keep the feeling a little bit the same, but that's the thing I love about scrap lifting is just because you're calling it the fact that you're scrap lifting it, you don't actually have to scrap lift every little piece of the layout. You can take the inspiration that you see and make it into your own. So that's what I absolutely adore about scrap lifting. And as you can see, that the third piece of pattern paper is that block paper that has all the awesome colors on one piece of pattern paper. And I simply just took a little strip of it to add it at the bottom. And then the main paper is that pink paper. And I backed my photo with the yellow, and that was using my 3 pieces of pattern paper. So a little bit small doses, but I really love the effect that it had. I am going to do some mixed media, and I grabbed my shimmers, and oh, it's so pretty. So I just grabbed my little stencil I have. It's a 12 by 12, and I layered it down there and then used my shimmers. I love this because I don't have to do the mixing, right? Like when I had modeling paste, and I'm still really new to mixed media. So I had modeling paste and I would mix it with my colors, my inks and stuff to get the color I wanted. And now that I have these awesome shimmers, I don't have to do that at all. It makes the color for me. So I was really excited about that. And it's so pretty when it's done. It's got like this pearlescent color on it, which I'm sure you all know by now, but I just love it. So I did a little bit of mixed media to help just add a little dimension to my photo. And now you're going to see me do my title. I was going to use multiple ways of saying it, but in the end, what it's saying is, so I love you a million times forever. And when I saw it, there was another lady that had scrap lift, I think, this title. And there was more to the title. I think it says, I love you forever and back or something a million times for like there's more to it, but I just couldn't make it work. So I am using some thickers here. I have my white ones, which I thought was kind of a neat way to break it up a little bit, and then these green thickers that I have a really hard time using. They're beautiful, and they technically could be teal, which I can scrap with no problem. I'm really good scrapping teal, but for some reason these green ones I just couldn't do it. So but they're there and I like them, so in the end it's great. I also have decided that looking at this, there's a lot of white space on the end, and I really wanted my title to be as close to my photo as possible, so I'm just trimming it down so that it becomes a 9 by 12 instead of a 12 by 12, and I really like the effect that that has, and it was kind of exactly what I was wanting. So we did that. Sorry, I'm just moving out of my room. I can hear my neighbors and they're really loud. So now I'm going to add all of my embellishments. So I start with this awesome little chipboard, which is the plant. I had used the other plant on my very first layout, and this one I like the color contrast. I thought it was a nice something there, and it was the perfect size to fit in between the title and my photo without there being that trapped white space that would have been there otherwise. And I'm going through the puffy stickers and all the things and just trying to figure out how I want to embellish this. I don't heavily embellish it. I more wanted everything to focus on the photo, and this photo is going to go into my son's album. So my journaling is talking about how even though he's only 2, he already barely cuddles with me, like you see in this photo. Like we're both kind of having a little nap there. He hardly ever does that now. He's like, he'll come in the morning and give me a little cuddle, and then that's it. Like he's not very like, oh mommy, I want to cuddle with you all day long, like he was when he was younger. So I wanted to just document that I don't, even though he's not like that, I cherish these moments and I hope he knows that, I'm always here for him if he ever does, sort of thing, is basically what the journaling is going to talk about. And I do add a little bit of floral. I know this is a little girly to go into his album because it's actually for him, but it's just kind of the way it worked. So hopefully he doesn't get too mad about the fact that I've made it a little more girlier than normally something I would make for his album. So as I've mentioned, this is our last layout for this series, and we're going to take a little bit of a break, maybe the month of August or at least half of August, and then we're going to come back, and instead of doing a collection like we've been doing for the past this is our fourth series. We've done two Making Homes collections, a Dear Lizzie and Paige Evans. So we're going to switch it up a little bit, and instead of focusing on a collection that we're absolutely obsessed with, we're going to focus on a fellow scrapbooker or YouTuber that we are obsessed with. We're really excited about this. We've been thinking about it and we've got a lot of really neat ideas. So I think you guys might really like this little bit of a change we're going to do. And we already know who our first one's going to be, but we're going to keep it a secret. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. We're really excited to kind of switch it up a little bit and be able to, not that we don't love doing the collections as well, but it's going to be fun to try to challenge ourselves to do it a little bit differently with other things too. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, I believe probably mid-August, late August. We just need a little bit of a break. Summer has been hectic. It's been crazy. I know Caddy was on her trip to Hawaii, so obviously you can't scrapbook when you're too busy having fun in Hawaii. And July for me is the busiest month out of the entire year, so I've been busy and all of that. So we're just going to take a little breath and then we'll come back. So I hope you enjoy what's going to come. Back to my layout though. So you can see I'm just adding my journaling, and again, it's just simply talking about how I cannot believe you don't cuddle with me anymore and you're only 2. And after that, I'm going to show you some close-ups thinking I'm done because I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. I've added my little bits of embellishment here and there. I did the X's. I had a really hard time using those. I guess they're supposed to be stitches, right? I absolutely love them. They are gorgeous on everyone's layouts. But when I go to use them, I don't think they look good at all. So I really love them and I buy them because I'm like, oh, I can make this look really cool, and I can't do it. So I'm going to have to focus in on other people that have been using them in the way that I like and try to make it work for me a little bit better. So you can see I moved a little bit and put a heart down at the title instead of the floral. It just wasn't working, and I'm just trying the balance to work well. I only have technically 2 areas of clusters, so that's what's throwing me off. Is I am pretty stickler on doing the rule of the triangular effect, so you have embellishments in like 3 different areas, and this layout doesn't have that. But it still works. Like I like it and I really love it. So it's not like I hate it, but I did have a problem with that. So as you can see, I came back. I'm going to add this little embellishment here. I used the wrong tape, and you could see the big middle tape strip down there, and I was so mad, so I had to try to figure out how to fix that. The tape is like a good strong tape. It doesn't come off. Oh, let me tell you, I was so mad at that point, but I was able to fix it, so it's okay. And then just a few little added embellishments from the collection pack from Paige Evans. This is all Paige Evans stuff. I don't think I used anything that wasn't from the collection. And I just thought it needed just a little bit more things, so I just kind of added a few more layers. I had that little acetate heart, and I was able to add that onto the chipboard heart is in the middle. And what I love about that is now there's something in kind of every area of the layout of the title, excuse me, and I like that. I think that's neat. It makes sure I follow it, and it's just exactly what I wanted. I also added that little chipboard frame around my photo for some added interest as well, and I finished it off by using that word dream because we're sleeping. So that's going to do it for me. I really hope that you've enjoyed this series and watching us use the Paige Evans Fancy Free collection from Pink Paisley. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave comments. We'd welcome to answer them. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.